Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof of your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. You know, I don't understand this one. It's National Color Day.
It is what it is.
Okay, I guess colors. Here's the problem is I don't understand colors. So I have to deal with colors from an IQ, not an EQ. Now, my wife's always yelling at me, those don't go together. Okay, well, if you didn't tell me they don't go together, I don't know they don't go together because you put on a shirt, you put on a pair of shorts or pants or whatever, they go together. And she's always telling me that I'm wrong. But that's not a big surprise, is it? So, no, it's not a surprise. So let's move right along. Today is actually also Make a Dog's Day. Isn't every day Make a Dog's Day? Now, I've got a Aussie Doodle, 3-year-old Aussie Doodle. And I thought that, this dog, after a certain period of time, she would kind of settle down. But she still gets very, very excited when people are around. And it's not like we're not there all day long, but she gets so excited. And you know what females do when they get too excited? Yeah, it's a little dribble here and there. Kind of like, yes, I know I'm going to get in trouble. I'll get some more hate mail today. But, that's... got
a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, so, it's she gets excited. I came home from being gone for a few days, and she just went crazy and did what she does. But, she's a fun dog. I brought, out of all the things, so I've got 3 kids, two daughters and 3 boys, 2 daughters-in-law, and 2 grandsons. Gone for 4 days. Guess who's the only one that got a treat when we came back? Yes, it was the dog. She got a new yak bone. Okay, let's see what else we've got going on. National Nut Day. I like nuts too. Cashews, if you would. Milk chocolate covered almonds are good. There's some truffle almonds, Trader Joe's. If you haven't tried those, they're really good. But I digress. Let's move right along and see what else we have going on. Oh, Tavern Style Pizza Day. Now, I don't know why they call it Tavern Style Pizza Day, but, I'm not a big fan. It's a real thin crust stuff, and, you get the good taste to it. I like it. Well, I don't know. I think the picture that we've got here looks more like what I like. This is a deep dish Chicago-style pizza. If you're in Southern California, if you're in Orange County, you ever tried Tony's Little Italy? They make the best deep dish Chicago pizza. If you haven't tried it, and if you're bringing it home with you, tell them you want it uncut. Number one, it stays better in the box and within the shell. And whenever they cut it, those pieces, even when I was at my full size, a piece of their pizza is more than a meal. So you can cut it your own size when you do it this way also. Tony's Little Italy in Placentia, National Tavern Style Pizza Day today. I guess I could talk about food all day long, but it would probably get me in trouble. So let's take a look and see what the markets are doing. How are we holding up? So we are in day 22 of the government shutdown, day 22. Is anybody noticing now? I can tell you this. I would notice if I was an air traffic controller and not getting paid right now, do I really, I got to think, would I be going to work? You know, you still got to feed the family. And if I'm not going to get paid, it might be a good time to use up some of that sick leave, some of that, I guess you have to use sick leave. You can't use PTO for this, but I'd be seriously considering, let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 179 points right now. Now it's down 164, so I better stop talking. We're looking at the NASDAQ is down 193. We've got the S&P 500 is down 25.84, and oil up $1.44 a barrel, 144 a barrel. Yikes! That's not too exciting. California gas. Well, maybe we did see a little bit of a drop in gas prices in California. It looks like. Finally, it's about time. Gavin must be out of the state, otherwise he'd try and raise the prices or taxes again. So we're down a penny from yesterday. The national average is up 2 cents from yesterday. So watching all of that for you, there are still, it looks like over half the country. There's only a few states left that are over $3 a gallon. And yes, California is one of them. I think there's only 2 of us or 3 of us that are over $4 a gallon. 4 states out of the entire union over $4 a gallon. We've got California, we've got Washington, we've got Hawaii. I guess only those 3. So yeah, we get to pay the price for living in Calizuela, unfortunately. Now the 10-year Treasury, here's a good one. The 10-year Treasury is at 3.97 right now, and it's been staying under 4 most of this week. So, and I think it ended up just under 4 last Friday as well, which is a good sign. If we can keep it under 4, that's not that it's a technical level, it's a psychological level. And if we can keep that under 4, it's going to be some good news for us. So we're watching that closely as well. The mortgage bond up just a little bit, not enough to matter. It's up 2 basis points. So we're not worried too much about that one. When it goes up, we like it. When it goes down, we don't. But 2 basis points isn't going to change interest rates at all, isn't going to change mortgage rates at all. And if you were to look at the chart, and I do all the time, there hasn't been a whole lot of change in the mortgage bonds. You know, we're looking at it, and it hasn't changed dramatically, you know, for the better part of a month. So we're right in a range, as they call it in the technical world, we're range bound. So we did see a go up. What are we looking at here? On the 22nd of August, on the 8th of September, we hit 101.28. Today we are at 101.29. So think about that. In about a month and a half, we've seen a change of about 2 basis points. That's not enough to move the stick on anything, so we don't even worry about it. So that's just where we're standing right now. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a good broadcast lined up for you. Planning to sell in 2026? Start the prep now. Under consumption and your financial health. 10 fun facts your credit score reveals about you, and the hidden cost of probate. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037, and DRE number 1869452.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, $19.90 and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry. Calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They tell us the number you put in your mortgage calculator to identify whether your payment is what your payment is, principal and interest. That's the important part because that's what you have to write the check for every month is your principal and interest payment. APR is just because the laws say that we have to share it with you because you can't figure out these things on your own. That's the law. That's not my world. I don't get to make the rules. I just have to follow them. But here it is. We've got the 30-year conventional 6.152. That one was up. Jumbo 30-year fixed 6.422. That was up. FHA 30-year fixed 6.02. That's down. VA 30-year fixed 5.766. That's down. And the USDA 30-year fixed 6.089. That one was up. If you want our thoughts about the market, we put those out in the morning as early as we can in our community. Yes, there is a Ron Siegel Radio community. You have access for free because you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio or you're watching us on the socials. rsrlinks.com/HBOD. rsrlinks.com/HBOD is where you find that. And we put that out each and every business day morning as early as the data allows or as early as we're up. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing right now. As I shared with you before, they're not doing a whole heck of a lot. We're seeing the S&P 500 is down 32, but a lot of that has to do with one stock that's really taking it on the chin. And if you didn't watch the news late yesterday, I know you've got better things to do, but if you didn't watch the news late yesterday, you probably didn't hear that Netflix, they didn't have the best report in the world. So, and that's the understatement. So Netflix stock, again, and one of the things that I'm not a big fan of these stocks that get these huge, super high valuations, just because number one, that makes them less liquid. Because if you've got a stock that's $1,000 a share, the average investor is not buying it. So Netflix is at $11.20 a share right now as we speak, $1,120.60. And that's as we're speaking right now, 9:23 in the morning on the 22nd of October. I know you're not listening to us necessarily at this time. The stock is down $121.81. Whoops. No, that's the wrong button. That's we're not excited about that unless you've got the puts on it, but that's going to be driving the market a lot when you've got a stock that's that big, down almost 10% on the day. So that will have an effect on that NASDAQ for sure. And the NASDAQ is down 247 points right now. I haven't looked lately to see what Apple's doing. Apple was one that was pushing for a while. They were pushing the $4 trillion market cap. So it's down also 258. I think it's got to get to 269 to be $4 trillion. Not that means anything to you or me, but it's just a milestone that I don't think any company's got there yet. And I have noticed that the sales on the iPhone 17 has been pretty good. I don't know whether it's because of the marketing or pent-up demand, because I don't know. Josh, you might know this one better than me, but I heard there wasn't a whole lot of difference in the 16 to the 15. So a lot of people just, put a pause on it. I'll be honest. I'm one that I usually get a new phone every year, and we kind of switch off. I get one, then my wife thinks she's getting one, but I give her my old one and I take the new one. And, she doesn't care because she doesn't really like the new technology. She gets a piece of technology, even if she wants to use email, she's calling Josh for help. It's interesting to watch, but she doesn't listen to the show, so I'm okay. But I didn't even get the 15. I'm still on the 14. So I guess there's probably some big changes when you go from the 14 to the 17. And she's on the 13. So if I take her from the 13 to 17, Josh, you're not going to get anything done at all during the time because it'll be fun watching that one go from 13 to 17. But let's see what's being that we are talking about the Mortgage Minute this morning. Civilian workers set to miss their first full paycheck on Friday. The White House has also warned that it may not be able to continue to pay the military or prevent federal food aid from drying up next month. Something that may be a catalyst to ending the shutdown is flight delays and cancellations. According to FlightAware, there's been a significant increase over the past week. Overall, 13,000 air traffic controllers and 50,000 transportation security administration officers are working without pay this month. If the delays and cancellations pick up, which is expected, there'll be a lot of noise and people will start to get very frustrated and write into their Congress people. Now, not being political, but I am. The Senate has voted, almost all of the Republicans plus John Fetterman have voted to end the shutdown. The House of Representatives already voted. They're just sitting at home waiting for the Senate to open the government again. And the Democrats are saying no. Now, the funny thing is you get Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer out there saying, well, it's the Republicans could open it anytime they want because they control the House, the Senate, and the White House. No, they don't. They control the House of Representatives. They have a majority of the Senate, but without 60 votes, they do not control it. And yes, the president is on the Republican Party. So they don't control the Senate. Otherwise, if they controlled the Senate, it would already be open because they've already voted for it over and over again. So it is Chuck Schumer that is keeping the government closed. If you want to see it open up, well, write to Chuck. Or in California, you can write to either one of our senators because they're voting against it as well. So vote for them and ask them to go back to Washington or go in there and vote to open up the government, because what's going to end up happening now is, again, we're the latter part of October. We're going to get to it where we're talking about starting to get into the Thanksgiving, Christmas holidays, and if the air traffic controllers aren't working, it's going to put some crimp in a lot of plans. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. So we keep on watching these things and we're not getting anywhere, but as they say, it is what it is. We're just pawns out here in the world. All we can do is deal with what we're dealing with, and we are still we've got about 2 days left in our Take Two program. Take Two. What is Take Two? Well, if you are thinking about refinancing or restructuring your home loan, that would be debt consolidation, cash out refinance, or a rate and term to get a lower rate. It's not for those of you that don't need any cash and don't have a lot of debt to consolidate and you've got a sub-5 interest rate. That's not who this is for. But if you've got that interest rate, 6 3/4 or above, if you've got a VA loan that is 6.5 or above, well, you've got Take Two. What does Take Two mean? If you get your application and documentation in by Friday, you won't have your first mortgage payment until January. So from a cash flow standpoint, taking payment holiday for 2 payments. You won't make your November and your December payments will be included with all the processing of your new loan. So your cash flow is benefited. Is there interest? Yes. Of course there's interest expense, but you're not going to have to make the monthly payment for November and December. But again, this is a whole timing issue. And if you're thinking about it, now through Friday, you got to get all the documentation in. You've got to get your application in, and you can go to sltloanapp.com, sltloanapp.com. Get that started, get it rolling, and let's see what happens. Now, we may see this may not be beneficial for some people come Friday morning at about, I think if we look at it, I think it's 5:30 California time. Let me just double check and make sure I'm giving you the accurate information. On Friday morning, we're going to be getting the CPI report. Yes, 5:30 a.m. California time. Depending upon what that report shows, interest rates could change dramatically. Now, what am I thinking about with this report? Well, first off, if the report comes out too low, you're going to get the naysayers and the never Trumpers are going to basically come out and say, the Bureau of Labor Statistics gave a bad report. But that's going to do damage. It's detrimental to our seniors because the year-over-year report every October. So they look back for the full 12 months ending with September's numbers coming out in October. That's when they're going to use for the cost of living adjustment, COLA adjustment for Social Security. If that number comes out in error, well, it's not going to get filtered through, but we don't want to see our seniors get hurt because of bad information. And it's highly likely that there's going to be question marks on this report because the Bureau of Labor Statistics, number one, they get every report wrong. That's just a given. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So, and then they adjust them. But, if the CPI is high, next week there's a Federal Reserve meeting, then the Federal Reserve says, maybe we won't want to cut mortgage rate or cut the discount rate. They don't affect mortgage rates. But if it comes out low, then the Federal Reserve has cover for reducing their discount rate. It's already baked in for a 25 basis point cut. So if the Federal Reserve does nothing, then we won't see much of a change in the mortgage rates. If they cut zero, then we got a problem because we're going to recover or it's going to affect the rates. We'll see interest rates increase. And if they cut more than 50 basis points, that'll be beneficial for mortgage rates as it follows the discount rate. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, planning to sell in 2026, start the prep now. Under consumption and your financial health, 10 fun facts about your credit scores. We'll talk about all that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Planning to sell your house in 2026? Start the prep now. Got big plans for 2026, but what you do this year could be the difference between a smooth sale and a stressful one. If you're thinking of selling next spring, the busiest season in real estate, the smartest move you can make is to start prepping now. As Realtor.com says, quote, if you're aiming to sell in 2026, now is the time to start preparing, especially if you want to maximize the spring market's higher buyer activity, unquote, because the reality is, from small repairs to touch-ups and decluttering, the earlier you start, the earlier it'll be when you're ready to list, and the better your house will look when it's time for it to hit the market. Why starting now matters? Talk to any good agent, and they'll tell you that you can't afford to skip repairs in today's market. There are more homes for sale right now than there have been in years, and since buyers have more to choose from, your house is going to need to look its best to stand out and get the attention it deserves. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do a full-on renovation, but it does mean you'll want to tackle some projects before you sell. Your house will sell if it's prepped right, and you don't want it to be left scrambling in the spring to get the work done. Because here's the advantage you have now. If you start this year, you'll be able to space those upgrades and fixes out however you want to. More time, less stress, no sense of being rushed or racing the clock. Whether it's fixing that leaky faucet, repainting your front door, or finally replacing your roof, you can do it right if you start now, and you have the time to find great contractors without blowing your budget or paying extra for rushed jobs. To figure out what's worth doing and what's not in your market, you need to talk to a local agent early. That way you're not wasting your time or money on something that won't help your bottom line. As Realtor.com explains, quote, respondents overwhelmingly agree that both buyers and sellers enjoy a smoother, more successful experience when they start early. In fact, a recent survey reveals that for sellers, bringing a real estate agent into the process sooner can pay off significantly, unquote. A skilled agent can tell you what buyers in your local area are looking for, the repairs or updates you need to do before you list, how to prioritize the projects if you can't do them all, and skilled local contractors who can help you get the work done. And having the information up front is a game changer. To give you a rough idea of what may come up in that conversation, here are the most common updates agents are recommending today, according to research from the National Association of Realtors, NAR. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 or FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart of the top projects agents recommend before selling. Paint the entire house. 50% of them recommend that. Paint an interior room. 41%. Replace the roof. 37%. Upgrade the kitchen. 30%. Renovate the bathroom. 24%. Just remember, what's worth updating depends on the homes you're competing with in your market. Some updates don't have a ton of some areas don't have a ton of inventory, so little updates may be all you need to tackle. In other areas, there are far more updates far more homes for sale, so you may need to do a bit more to make your house stand out. Your agent will walk you through what you need to do for your specific house and market, and that's expertise that'll really pay off. If you don't have an agent, give me a call, 800-306-1990, or send us a note. I have a report card on every agent in our country that are doing business. We'll send you that report card, make an introduction for you. Also, if you are one of those people that prefer living indoors, you may want to get your financial house in order. So when you sell your house, you can buy the one you want. Go to KeySteps, rsrlinks.com/keysteps, rsrlinks.com/keysteps to see what makes sense for you. Bottom line, if your plan is to sell in 2026, it's time to get serious. Taking some time to prep means you'll hit the market confident, ready, and ahead of other sellers who waited until January to get started. Want to know which projects are getting the biggest return on their investment in our market? Let's connect so you can head into next spring with a solid game plan. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. With credit card debt in America hitting $1.14 trillion, maybe it's time we talk about a trend that's actually good for your wallet. It's called underconsumption. And before you roll your eyes thinking it's just another social media fad, hear me out. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. You know what's interesting? For years, we've celebrated spending. Bigger houses, newer cars, the latest gadgets. But lately, something's shifting. People are sharing videos online about using what they already have, fixing things instead of replacing them, and actually feeling good about spending less. Here's the thing about underconsumption. It's not really new. It's just old school personal finance wrapped in a trendy name. Buy what you need, fix what you own, align your spending with what matters to you. Let me share a story. I worked with a family last month who thought they had a mortgage problem. Turns out they had a spending problem disguised as a debt problem. When we sat down and looked at their household blended interest rate, we found something eye-opening. They were paying off their mortgage early while carrying $47,000 in credit card debt at 24% or more.
What are you doing?
But here's what really got them. When they tracked their spending for 30 days, they discovered $890 a month was disappearing into what they called little purchases. Coffee runs, online shopping when they were bored, subscription services they forgot that they had. So what does this mean for you? Think about it this way. Every dollar you don't spend is a dollar that can work for you instead of against you. When you practice underconsumption, you're not being cheap, you're being strategic. Start by cleaning up your financial house. Look at your subscriptions. Most people forget about half of them. Review your insurance policies. When's the last time you shopped your coverage? That alone could save you hundreds a month. Here's what I tell my clients. Canceling Netflix saves you maybe $15 a month. That's nice. But reviewing your insurance and finding better rates, that could save you $200 a month. Strategy beats rate always. The underconsumption trend gets one thing absolutely right. It connects your spending to your values. When you understand your why, making a budget becomes easier. Maybe your why is getting out of debt. Maybe it's saving for your kids' education. Maybe it's building up your emergency fund so you can sleep better at night. But here's my caution. Don't take this too far. I've seen people get so focused on saving every penny that they forget to live. If you love to travel, take a trip. If you enjoy nice meals out, budget for them. The goal isn't deprivation. The goal is intention. Think of underconsumption like this. It's not about what you're giving up. It's about what you're gaining. Mind control, less stress, better cash flow, and ultimately the ability to build real wealth. Now let's talk about how this connects to debt. When you free up money by consuming less, you have options. You can attack high interest debt. You can build that emergency fund. You can actually start building wealth instead of just treading water. But here's where strategy matters. Not all debt payoff plans are created equal. I see people making extra payments on their 3% mortgage while carrying credit card debt at 20% or more. That's not strategy. That's math working against you. This is where understanding your household blended interest rate makes all the difference. It's not about what you owe on this card or that loan. It's about how much is actually coming out of your household budget every month to service all your combined debt. Get that 30-second loan app and see what it looks like. rsrlinks.com/Sora. rsrlinks.com/Sora. What if you could reduce that monthly outflow by $500, by $800? What would that do for your financial picture? The underconsumption trend is teaching us something we should have known all along. Spending less than you earn is the foundation of financial independence, but it's not just about consuming less. It's about being smarter with what you do consume. Review your expenses. Look at your debt strategically. Shop your insurance. Cancel subscriptions you don't use, but don't stop living. Just live with intention. Want to see how strategic debt management could change your financial picture? Visit rsrlinks.com/keysteps. rsrlinks.com/keysteps. It's a tool that helps you get your financial house in order. You can also go to visit rsrlinks.com/2step to learn about our two-step equity strategy. It's all right there for you. Remember, strategy beats trade always. And sometimes the best investment you can make is the one you don't spend in the first place. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio. I'm sorry, that's your Credit Matters segment brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free. rsrlinks.com/debt-free. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the hidden cost of probate, 10 fun facts your credit score reveals about you, and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ. and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Michael, unfortunately, some things never change. Yes, we are 22 days shut down and still getting taxed. And I don't know where you're checking in from, Michael, but if you're in California, you really get taxed. Of course, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, all on the high tax bandwagon as well. Borrow Smart segment today, being brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. Here's a question that might surprise you if you want a home worth $400,000. You own a home worth $400,000. Here's a question that might surprise you if you own a home worth $400,000 but still owe $200,000 on your mortgage. How much do you think your family could lose to probate court? Most people would guess based on the $200,000 in equity. The real answer? Probate fees are calculated on the full $400,000. That's right. For many California families, that could mean $25,000 to $35,000 going to courts and attorneys instead of to your kids. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Let me share something that happened to one of my clients recently. Her mother passed away last year. The family thought they could just close mom's bank account with a death certificate and sell the house. Turns out that's not how it works. The bank wouldn't release the funds. The title company wouldn't transfer the property. Everything was frozen. Why? Because mom didn't have a living trust. Her estate had to go through probate. 18 months later, they're still waiting. The court costs keep adding up. And here's the part that really stings. They're paying probate fees on the gross value of everything mom owned, not just the equity. So what does this mean for you? When someone passes away without a living trust, their estate goes through probate court. Think of probate as the state's way of making sure debts get paid and assets get distributed correctly. Sounds reasonable, right? The problem is the cost and time. In California, probate typically takes 12 to 18 months, sometimes longer if there are complications. And the fees, they run about 6 to 8% of the estate's gross value. Here's where it gets tricky. Let's say you own a home worth $500,000. You've got a $300,000 mortgage. So your equity is $200,000. And in some bank accounts and investments, your total estate is worth $600,000 gross value. Probate doesn't care about your mortgage. They calculate fees on the full $600,000. You could be looking at $40,000 or more in probate costs, money that could have gone to your family. Now, why can't families just bypass all this? People ask me this all the time. Ron, why can't I just go to the bank with a death certificate and take care of things? Here's why. The moment someone dies, the funeral home files the death certificate with the state. That information gets transmitted electronically to the Social Security Administration, financial institutions everywhere. Your Social Security number gets flagged. Banks freeze accounts. Title companies won't transfer property. The system is designed to prevent unauthorized access until proper legal authority is established. That authority comes from either probate court or from a living trust. A living trust is different. When you create a living trust, you transfer ownership of your assets into the trust while you're alive. You stay in control. You can change at any time. But when you pass away, your successor trustee can distribute assets according to your wishes without going to court. No probate, no public letter, no public record, no year-and-a-half wait, no excessive fees. Think about it this way. A living trust typically costs, I don't know, $5,000, maybe more. Probate costs 6% to 8% of your estate. For a $500,000 estate, you can save $30,000 or more by spending $2,500 now. And it's not just about the money. Probate is public. Anyone can look up your family's financial details. A trust keeps everything private. Probate takes over a year. A trust allows your family to settle things in weeks or months. Probate is stressful during an already difficult time. A trust provides clarity and peace of mind. Who needs a living trust? If you own a home, you need one. If you have kids, you definitely need one. Even young adults benefit from having a basic trust in place because life is unpredictable. A trust combined with powers of attorney ensures someone can manage your affairs if something unexpected happens. Here's what I want you to remember. Strategy beats rate always. That applies to estate planning too. You can have the best mortgage rate in the world, but if your estate planning isn't in order, you're leaving your family vulnerable to unnecessary costs and complications. First family I helped with a loan is in 1983. I've seen families lose tens of thousands of dollars to probate that could have been avoided with proper planning. Don't let that happen to your family. If you want to learn more about how estate planning fits your overall financial strategy, visit ronsiegelradio.com. And if you'd like to see how much probate might cost your specific situation, there's a calculator that you can get a hold of. Just give me a call at 800-306-1990, and that'll give you real numbers. I can also put you in touch with our friends over at AmeriState. They will do a great job for you in creating that trust, and it doesn't cost as much as some of the other options. Remember, it's Ron Siegel, Strategy Beats Rate Always. I am your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. So I thought we might have a little fun today. Let's Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. Your credit score isn't just a number that banks use to approve loans. It's actually telling 10 surprising stories about you that you probably never knew. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Most people think their credit score is boring, just 3 digits, but I'm going to share 10 fun facts about what that number really reveals about you. Fun fact number 1, how well you keep promises. Your credit score is basically a trust meter. When you pay bills on time, you're showing you follow through on commitments, not just to banks, but in life. Fun fact number 2, whether you like to plan ahead, people with higher scores usually keep credit card balances low and plan for expenses before they happen. A high score hints at someone who thinks ahead. Fun fact number 3, how much adulting you're doing. From car loans to mortgages, a strong credit history means you've taken on major life responsibilities and handled them successfully. Your score tells the world how well you manage grown-up life. Fun fact number 4, your level of financial flexibility. High scores usually come with higher credit limits and better loan options. Your credit score reflects how much wiggle room you have when life throws curveballs. Fun fact number 5, your eye for details. Credit reports sometimes contain errors. People who regularly check and fix mistakes tend to have better scores. That means your score can show whether you pay attention to small stuff in a good way. Fun fact number 6, how much you pay for big life milestones. Your credit score can decide whether you spend thousands more or less on a home, car, or student loan. Your score shows whether your big milestones cost you more or save you money. Fun fact number 7, whether you're a VIP in the eyes of lenders, a top-tier score makes banks fight for your business. Your credit score reveals whether you're the type of customer they roll out the red carpet for or the one they make wait in line. Fun fact number 8, your chances of scoring perks. Ever wonder why some people get credit cards with travel points, cash back, and lounge access? Your score is often the key that opens the doors. Fun fact number 9, your financial stress meter. Maxed out cards and missed payments drag down your score. That number can reflect whether you're carrying more financial stress than you realize. Fun fact number 10, your financial freedom factor. At the end of the day, your credit score tells whether the money opens doors for you or closes them. A higher score means more choices, better deals, and fewer limits on your future. So what does this mean for you? Your credit score is more than just an approval number. It affects the terms you get, the options available to you, and how much money stays in your household budget instead of going to interest payments. That's where strategic debt management comes in. Recently had a client with a 680 credit score, decent number, but when we looked at their complete financial picture, they were paying way too much across multiple accounts. We worked on a strategy that improved their cash flow, helped their credit score climb at the same time. See, it's not just about the score itself. It's about your household blended interest rate. It's about what truly is suitable for your situation, not just what you're eligible for, because strategy beats rate always. We evaluate everything through safety, liquidity, and return. That's how you build real wealth, by managing both sides of the equation, your assets and your liabilities. Want to understand what your credit score is really telling you? Go to rsrlinks.com/Sora, rsrlinks.com/Sora. Yes, there is a soft credit pull that doesn't affect your credit score, and it shows you where your debts are and might even have some interest rates associated with them. You can also go to rsrlinks.com/keysteps. That gives you the full banana. So you've got your credit score there. You've got identity theft protection there. You've got budgeting there. Asset management is there. Your score is more than a number. It's a reflection of your money habits and a key that opens doors to your future. This is Ron Siegel. Remember, strategy beats rate always, and I am your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. That's your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to chat about everything that fixes your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.